Chapter 9 of our text deals with choosing the right delivery method, and that is confidently delivering your presentation. The chapter is made up of a few sections. The first section is choosing the right delivery method. The second is using your voice. Third is using your body. Fourth deals with communication and public speaking apprehension. And then the last section deals with managing questions. So let's dive right into it. When you think of delivery and choosing the right delivery method, speeches can be delivered in one of four ways. And choosing the correct method for your audience and for the occasion certainly is important. So you have to consider the audience, the purpose, and the occasion, and these will help you choose which is going to be the most effective delivery method. The first method is impromptu speaking. And this involves speaking with little or no preparation time, using no notes or just a few. You called on to share a few words. You weren't prepared to do so. And it might be that your boss is taking some guests through a part of the office or part of the plant, and you run that division, and they ask you to share a few words in terms of what you do. It's somewhat impromptu, but you know what you do, and so you've kind of prepped for this in some way by your experience and by your knowledge of the working environment. It's a little bit harder to do. It's not the easiest. And we won't be doing any of that in this course. The second way is the extemporaneous speaking method. And this is the delivery method that we are using for this course and for most speaking occasions. It involves carefully preparing, researching, organizing your presentation, creating an outline, speaker notes, and all these are done to guide you through the presentation. This is the best way to maintain a personal connection with your listeners and to be able to respond to their feedback, their nonverbal feedback in real time. It also creates a more targeted interaction with your audience as you can adjust your words and decide what to include or exclude in your speech based on the nonverbal response that you are receiving from the audience members. If they look confused, you know that you need to slow down and explain what you've just said in other words. Speaking extemporaneously also means that your word choice is fresh. So you're not reading from the outline, you're looking down at the outline, it reminds you of what you want to say, then you create that sentence in real time, at the moment. So you will practice your speech so that those keywords and phrases will stick in your mind. But at the moment you speak, you choose your exact words as you are delivering the presentation. So what should you do? Well, you want to craft a full sentence outline. Some people use a keyword outline. I don't personally recommend it. I think you need a full sentence outline. And what this outline does, it represents the major ideas of your speech and your supporting material. So it is not a manuscript. An outline is to a manuscript what your skeleton is to the rest of your body. You do want to capture and cite detailed information in the outline. And remember, you want to orally cite the sources for these items, and we'll get to this in the second and third presentations. And your notes, remember, are prompts. The outline is designed to help keep you on track, keep you organized, provide structure, and to prompt you as to what's next. It is not a script for you to read. Do not try to read it or commit your outline to memory. The third method is using a manuscript. Manuscript involves writing out your speech word for word, creating an outline, and then from the outline, writing out word for word what you will say, and then reading it to the audience. So if an issue or occasion is controversial or sensitive, you may choose to use this type of method, a manuscript method. It will help you avoid misstating a position. So when you do choose this method, and it's rare that you'll ever choose this method, pay special attention to preparing the written text. I wouldn't write it out by hand. rather type it out and then print it. Choose a large enough font so that you can look down and see where you are, and it's okay to have more pages. Don't try and put it all on one page, it just won't work. So choose a font that's large enough so that you don't have to squint. And make sure there's enough space. The lines are widely spaced. Use larger margins. Be sure to number your pages, because if they get mixed up, you'll be in trouble. Print the script only on one side of the paper, not on a double side, so that the audience cannot see you flipping. You don't want to flip pages. You just slide the one page to the next, from one to the next. Practice enough so that you are not dependent on the manuscript. You don't need to look down for each sentence. Probably the best thing to do is to practice section by section. Start with the introduction, read it a few times, and get it down to where you can read it in an animated fashion, and then do the body, and then finally the conclusion. So remember, you don't want to read to the audience even though you are reading to them. So you want to express yourself naturally and communicate your personality. Think of your manuscript as a way of conversing, having a conversation with your audience. You want them to have some sort of peek into your personality, even though reading is not the best way to gauge who you are, but you do. If you're an upbeat, energetic individual, work to convey those traits through your movement, your gestures, solid eye contact, and using your hands. As you rehearse, ask your friends to listen, and ask them if you sound like you are reading or speaking to them. The last method is memorization. Memorization enables you to write the exact words you will speak without being forced to read them. So it makes it easier to establish good, strong eye contact with your audience and to deliver your speech skillfully. Memorization begins with a carefully crafted manuscript, but it takes a whole lot more to memorize than to get it right. Again, here, just memorize small sections of your speech at a time: introduction, body, and then conclusion. Make sure that you have sufficient pauses. When you memorize something, it's easy to fall into the trap of hurrying to get things out. So you want to practice using pauses, emphasis, and certainly vocal variety. Also avoid that look as if you're trying to remember part of the speech. This takes away from the effectiveness of the message. So memorized speech is a great time to use eye contact and to engage the audience. This sustained eye contact will increase your credibility with the audience, increase the persuasiveness of your presentation, and certainly maintain audience interest. That's the first section.